awesome to have you guys here. Now, we know you two have worked together for years. You worked with Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band, and the Disciples of Souls. Stevie, what did you hear in Anthony that made you want to bring him onto the record label?
Oh, well, first of all, he sings in the Disciples of Soul. He's one of the, you know, we have some background vocals, which he does, and it's one of the great, I don't want him to hear this, but one of the great percussionists of all time.
Yeah. Okay? Oh, my goodness.
Yes, yeah, he didn't hear that. I like to keep it all in the family, you know what I'm saying? We're probably the only band with 5 solo acts in it. Okay, you know, right? Yeah. You know, so you know, we kind of keep everybody close and help each other out, you know. So I was very excited. He decided to make his own record, and I'm like, okay, you know, you got a home right here.
Oh,
you know?
Disciples is a very talented family, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's it like for you to kind of break away, Anthony, and be like, I'm doing this. This is as true to yourself and to where you're from, who you are. Like, what's that like for you to be like, this is my signature. This is me.
It's exciting and it's nerve-wracking. You know, you're stepping out in front of the percussion. I mean, I've been singing most of my life, but to this capacity, it's definitely a different challenge. But, you know, you always have something to say as an artist, and I felt like this is the time for me to say what I wanted to say, and musically, how I wanted to present it to the world. So.
And doing it in Spanish as well might mean a lot.
That was very important to me. You know, Spanish is actually my first language.
Yeah.
And then, born and raised in the Bronx with Puerto Rican, Dominican parents, we spoke Spanish at home. So I keep my strong ties to my culture.
And Stevie, this is the first time you're playing in a Latin album, is it not? How was it?
Oh, man, I loved it. I mean, I was having so much fun, you know. I did one take, he's like, that's it. I'm like, wait a minute now, I'm having fun. You know? He says, you can play it a couple more times, but we're keeping that one.
Yeah.
You know, so that was it. But I've always had a love of it, you know, and I've always had a little bit of it in my music, you know.
Yeah.
Going back to, I don't know where we started, Los Desaparecidos.
Yeah,
or
Bitter Fruit.
Bitter Fruit,
Yeah.
and, you know, Party Mambo on Summer of Sorcery. You know, I just love that. I just love that music. I always have. I mean, you know, and integrated it. You know, I did a duet with Ruben Blades, you know, on one of my albums.
And some of the scores too, right? Which you did on Lilyhammer as well. You had some Latin music on there as well.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So it's been a thing I just loved always. No particular reason. You know, just dig it. You know.
I was really hoping the story was different. I was really hoping like you did a take and Anthony was like, "No, Stevie, do it again." That was crap.
What you guys saw in that video, that was the first take.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's what he nailed, and you know, I let him. All right, go ahead, play it a few more times, enjoy yourself.
Just for fun.
Have a go.
That was it.
You're headlining the Monmouth 250, right?
Yes. We were scheduled to do it July 3rd, the night before, you know, July 4th, because it's a big celebration of 250 years. And it was going to be 105 degrees all day. And we were like, you know what, we're not putting the fans through that, because it's like a big show. It's like four other acts. So it's like a festival, you know. So the doors are going to be like 2 p.m., you know, and you're going to be out there for 6-8 hours. Now, it wasn't only the 105 degrees, as it turned out, but, you know, there was like a hurricane happening down the line, you know, and a blackout. So it was like a trifecta that we avoided.
Yeah.
So we moved it to July 17th, a week from Friday. And we'll, you know, it's going to be us and a great show. Joe Grishecki from Pittsburgh. Gary U.S. Bond's going to be playing with him. Jake Clemens, you know, a sax player from the E Street Band, which I don't think people realize he was a solo artist before he joined the E Street Band. Sax was not his first instrument, believe it or not.
What was it?
Yeah, he's like a singer-songwriter.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Wow.
So he'd become one of the great sax players in the business.
It's iconic.
You know, so he's a legitimate singer-songwriter. So he's on the show, and the Weaklings, a local band, great local band. I call them the best band with the worst name in the world, and they're just fantastic though. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, we it's all friends. We're all kind of, it's like a family outing, you know. So it's going to be fun.
And tonight's also going to be fun because it's your album release, right?
Yes.
We're going to have a great time. So we're playing at Dizzy's here at Jazz Lincoln Center, and the band is actually, it's phenomenal. It's a 13-piece band. So we're playing all the tunes of the record, and I expect a lot of dancing.
Yeah. Required. A prerequisite.
It's required. It's definitely required.
You
We're
got
gonna
to
have a
sign a
great time.
And
contract.
if you don't
beforehand.
know how to dance salsa, you will teach them, right?
Don't worry about it. Just two steps. Two-step your way through.
Yeah, it's easy.
And pucker your lips.
You're going to be there. You'll be there.
Yeah.
You can teach
I'll
them.
teach everybody.
There we go.
You guys are hanging out because you're going to perform for us, right?
He is.
So you're going to give words of encouragement. All right.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you guys
you.
very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Cool.
Steve and Anthony, they're going to, like we said, we're going to be, Anthony will be performing. Stevie's going to be hanging out and giving words of comfort. If you want to see him live, he's going to be celebrating his album release tonight at Dizzy's at Lincoln Center. For tickets, head to jazz.org.